Welcome to day 7 of New York Fashion Week. The week is finally coming to a close, and we have a very exciting show for you. We have a recap of all the trends, the best on the runway, and of course, celebrity gossip. I'm your host, Lauren Reeves, for the Loud Digital Network's Fashion Week Daily. We're joined in the studio today by Siobhan Murphy. How are you?
I'm great, Lauren. How are you?
Good. How's Fashion Week been treating you? You've been running around to all the shows.
Yeah, it's been pretty incredible, I have to say. I mean, we've been backstage. We've got tons of celebrity and designer interviews, seen a lot of street style. It's been a really fun week.
And today you went to Millie. How was that?
We did. She had a lot of holographic prints, some fun leathers, a lot of bright colors, which for fall, we've been seeing a lot of dark things on the runway. So it was really great to see kind of some shimmer and some pops of color as well.
Sounds great. They had some great music playing too.
They did, actually. Some great music.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? I feel like a lot in fashion, music is influencing fashion and fashion is influencing music. Mm-hmm. Am I wrong to say that?
No, totally. I mean, we know a lot of musicians love to date supermodels as well. So
right.
They definitely cross over a little bit. And one of the most memorable music experiences, they were actually playing music while you were walking into the tents. They had a live DJ the entire time, which was really fun and kind of kept the energy up. And then at Timo Whalen, they actually had Cable, which was a live band performing too. So that was something a little different to see, but I loved it.
And another thing that goes well with fashion is technology. I feel like this technology is the newest thing, and it's really pushing fashion to the limits.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, at every show, we saw everyone get their phones out the minute the lights dimmed. Everyone's Instagramming, taking pictures, taking videos. And one of the things that was really helpful they actually had at the tent was the Samsung Galaxy Lounge. So at the lounge, they had all sorts of chargers. The bloggers all had their MacBooks out, and they had all these power stations around as well. So you could Instagram your heart out, and you didn't have to worry about losing your phone too, which was great.
And I also spoke with some people saying the newest trends with fashion and technology, and we have, I believe it was LED lighting inside of a high-end purse, and a lot of the big brands are going towards technology-driven fashion. Let's take a look. We're talking with Allison Lewis. She's the founder of iHeartSwitch, and let's talk a little bit about technology and fashion. How are they affecting each other?
Well, I find that technology is really lacking in fashion in general, but they tend to be inspired by it. So technology world is just trying to figure out how to work in the fashion world right now. And the fashion world is smart. One of the most famous recently is Jimmy Choo, who had the illuminated heels. They were $2,500 and they are amazing. The most famous person is Hussein Xiaoyan, who does robotic dresses and like crazy light shows. Most of these designers are playing with it as a novelty, but you're starting to see it creep into actual products.
Let's talk about your bag for a second.
This is a color-changing handbag, very high-end. It's actually made in Italy by the same people who work on Chanel and Gucci. And we started a new company called the Agent of Presence, and it's all about how to make high-end, beautiful technological accessories.
Some of my favorite moments, I have to say, we saw a cat on a leash on the runway for Tracy Reese, which was definitely a first for me.
Catwalk,
yeah, a catwalk.
For real.
Great. It was great. So that was one of my favorites. I love the Jill Stewart collection, also Charlotte Ronson. I saw a lot of kind of 60s mod designs out there, and I really liked that. So that's what I'm going to be giving a try this year.
Great. And Charlotte Ronson, she brought her sister. It's always a family affair, I feel like, with those
With
kids,
the Ronsons, yeah, definitely. They had Samantha Ronson spinning on the hits, the little one, too. And Charlotte was there kind of mingling as well. And we got a chance to talk to her, which is great. But, yeah, I really, really loved her pieces. I'd wear everything.
Good. And what are some of the biggest trends that we're going to see for the next season?
The biggest trends, I have to say, hologram. It's a really, really interesting print. We're seeing a lot of hologram leather purses, especially at Millie. In terms of a color, and aside from that, some of the darker things is oxblood. Actually, it sounds a little scary, but it's kind of that really rich red, seeing a ton of that.
So one of my favorite parts about Fashion Week is seeing all the people who are fashionistas, or, some people who think they are, and they have a very different style. Tell me some of the looks that you saw throughout the week in and around the tents.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. I mean, there was a blizzard going on outside, but it literally stopped no one from dressing in their finest outfits. So one of the most memorable was a blogger that we actually ran into on the first day. She looked so chic, so cute despite the cold. She had this awesome fur hat on. on, Kate Spade shoes, kind of some funky prints going on. And what I really loved about hers was that she mixed kind of high and low end pieces. So she had the Kate Spade, and then she was saying she went to TJ Maxx. So I just really liked how chic it was and also accessible, something anybody could do.
So tell me, I know that we've had a couple of Fashion Week parties. What were some of your favorites?
Yeah, Soraya actually was out talking to everybody, and I have to say the Duro JCP launch was amazing. There was such an eclectic crowd there, some really eclectic and fun prints too. So for JCPenney, I know this is their first major launch, and I loved everything. Really fun, really bright.
Tell me about the Dailies party.
Yeah, the Daily, 10 years of covers in iconic fashion. You know, it's amazing kind of seeing how it evolved throughout the year, but they're really known as being kind of the place that you need to go to get all of your info for the front row. So it was definitely fun to celebrate that. Now, Lauren, I know I've been at the tents and backstage, but you've had a lot going on as well. I know you were at the Daily Style Sessions in the Stone Rose Lounge, so tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it was great. There was massages, which is always great. I just wish I had time to do that, which I didn't, but I spoke with a lot of very interesting people at the lounge. There were cocktails, which was probably one of my favorite parts. I'm not going to lie to you. And of course, we had like this healthy food and watching the celebrities come in and out. So it was a really great experience. So tell me some of the interviews that you loved doing this week.
Well, I have to say Coco Rocha was one of my favorites. I mean, she's got to be one of the biggest supermodels I could think of. Literally, she is so tall.
Right.
And also in terms of her reputation, she was so beautiful. And she was just really fun to talk to because she's somebody that's been there. She's walked all the runways. She's seen all the designers. And so it was really great to get a chance to talk to her. The Hervé Leger show was really great because they took that classic managed dress and they gave it kind of this animalistic feel. And I love that they threw a lot of fabulous rhinestones on there too. So you had a little bit of the wild side, a little bit of the bling, and I loved it. Another show I really liked was Nicole Miller. You know, we caught Eve backstage, and there were tons of celebrities at that as well. And she's one of those classic names in fashion. So getting to cover her show was really fun.
Well, thank you so much for coming into the studio and talking with us. It's always nice to hear what's going on at the tents.
Yeah, it's been a great week. Thanks, Lauren.
Good, thank you. And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We're actually wrapping it up because this is our final episode until next Fashion Week. I'm your host, Lauren Reeves, for the Loud Digital Network's Fashion Week Daily. Make sure to follow us on Twitter for more information. We'll see you back here next season.